Okay, good morning. Hope everyone's doing well today. Okay, so this here, dominating your market, dominating listings is really the topic here. And first we need to know, so where have you been getting your listings? I mean, you need to go back in 2022, 23, and this year, and really take an inventory of where your listings are from. A lot of the listings that I have are coming from referrals, and I know many of you heard of it before, but if some of you haven't, a lot of my listings come from referrals because I invest my marketing dollars into the relationship. I invested in coffee. I invested in marketing to them through mailer. I still use traditional mail, and from my client base, most of my sellers are 55 and older, 55 to 90, right? So these people, 55 to 90, especially the older ones, traditional methods of marketing, like the mail, is very effective. I send them regular newsletters and recipes, very traditional items, because they're effective. They probably just throw it away, but the whole point of it is that they see my name, they see my picture, even though they throw away the recipe in the garbage. When that day comes, when they have to talk real estate, it's easy for them to find my phone number or think of me because I've been regularly marketing to these people. Some of these clients have been receiving my mail for the last at least 10 to 15 years. That's $1 every month for that one customer. That's $12 a year for that customer. And in 1 year, 10 years, that's around $150 or so in stamps and ink and all that stuff. But when they do the deal, that's a $20,000 commission. That's sort of how I look at it. But you need to know where your listings are coming from, so then you could really spend more time in the area of where you got that listing. So mine's a referral, so I spend a lot of my effort in that. I have a new program I've been working on, and some of you have heard of it. Maybe some of you haven't, but I've been working with this company for lead source. And if you guys want to know more, let me know later. But they are an amazing company for buyer and seller leads, warm to hot, and it's been really working out well. So once you know where your leads are, then increase your goals, and you have to have it visually. Okay, you know, I have a board in my house, and I even have pads of paper where my clients are, and every day I look at it. I update my list of buyers and sellers and who I need to follow up with, and I keep it really that simple. And you know, I also have a big board. I like to sort of track who I need to call, remind me, because every week there's some. I go to places and they would be, hey, Jeff, I have somebody that's going to sell. And if I don't write it down, I'll forget about it. So you have to have some type of tracker. So the first action of, you know, becoming listing dominant is you have to block out some time to do the prospecting. I know we talk about this every week, but you need to block out some time to prospect, and you need to do the things to get those conversations to talk to sellers. Okay. I mean, this is just really, you know, this is what you need to do, and block out that time, making sure that you have, you know, the right script at hand. And, you know, that's really important, just to know what you're going to say and who you're going to call, and blocking out time for talking to sellers. There are a lot of tools to help you, you know, get conversation with sellers. You know, I like to utilize Padrock Collins. He's with Stewart. He has some amazing techniques to talk to sellers. If you haven't spoken to him yet, please get a hold of him. It doesn't matter where you are in the United States, but his name is Padrock Collins. He's with Stewart Title, but he's developed some amazing ways and constantly updating and upgrading his strategies. He's just there to help agents for free. And why pay if you can get high level people like him to help you? Of course, his objective, if he helps you, you should be opening your escrow with them if you're in California. If you're not, you can just utilize them, have a conversation, learn some of his techniques because he's definitely unique. I've been in the business for over 20 years and I've worked with title reps. I think 99% of them are they just want your escrow deals. They're really pretending that they could give value, but I have never met any sales rep for any title company that's as good as Patrick Collins. His name is Patrick Collins. Look him up. So, all right. Number 2 here. Yep. Like I said, you have to have your goals up and visually seeing what your production is, because that's where you need to spend most of your time. And 3, have your scripts going. Asking somebody how's the market, or they're going to ask you how's the market, is really a standard question. You're going to need to know how to convert your conversations into the right direction to get the listing. Some of the things that you can say to sellers are, have you ever thought of selling? Another one is, are you living in your dream house now? And the reason why you got to ask these questions is to make them think. And most people are not living in their dream home. So, of course, some people may have to downsize, especially a bunch of sellers. And that's a lot that I'm doing. And then another question is, at what price would you become a seller? Basically, you're just asking them, what is it you want for your home? And then that would lead into a CMA, a comparable marketing analysis. And another question is, do you know anybody who's thinking about selling? This is where the referrals come in. These are questions you have to be asking when you're talking to people, in particular looking for listings. Do you know anybody who tried to sell and it didn't work out? Right? So the property in San Francisco, the duplex, that came from another listing agent. They couldn't sell it. They weren't properly prepared. They weren't in proper position. Maybe it was a tenant's. Maybe the expectation from the seller wasn't realistic at the time. So now I have the opportunity. So there are just 3 things to become a listing dominant, and that's just block out time, get your goals together, of course, know your scripts, and how to talk to the seller. Those are all really basic, right? But if you just focus on these 3 things, you could really dominate your market. And one of my objectives, like right now, these days, is I'm cleaning up my database. My database is separated into 3: SOI-A, SOI-B, and SOI-C. So my goal is to get them from C to B, B to A, and the A is where I invest my time and effort in. A lot of them, I send some Starbucks card, movie tickets, gift cards, etc. And then the ones that do refer me, I really go out and spend some effort to them. I'll get them some of my fresh vegetables from my garden. I'll bring it there. I'll get some of the meat that I harvest, because I harvest my own meat. And then I would bring it to the client. And it's not a lot. Maybe a quarter of a chicken, but it's fresh. Maybe a bag full of vegetables, because I've grown it. It's the end of summer. But I really take the time and effort to do this for my referring clients, and that's SOIA. And so right now I'm cleaning that up. I'm asking the question on each individual. Do I have the right phone number? Do I have the right address? Is this person even responding to me anymore? And then I delete them. And then I go onto my Facebook. I find out who is my most likely, who likes all my posts. And then I take them, I put them, and I give them my virtual assistant and I would go over each individual on Facebook. We look at who is following me. they're not in my SOIA or my SOIB, I ask them for their address and phone number through Messenger. If they don't respond to me there, I'll find a way to get them. But my goal is to take them from Facebook to a traditional method of marketing, and that's currently a plan. Very simple, right? But this is where, if I've identified most of my business as a referral business, then that's why I'm doing it. I'm really careful on how I'm spending my time and money into maybe online marketing, is because you could be spending tens of thousands of dollars without hitting your market and not making a return. So this way, how I'm doing it is just more strategic, and I believe a lot smarter way, because if the people have been following me on Facebook, obviously they sort of know me. One last story before we end this call. I was at a restaurant yesterday. It was Sunday after church. I was in San Francisco, and I went to this restaurant, and there was somebody there from junior high. She recognized me. I didn't recognize her. Sorry. But, we sat side by side. So we had a long conversation. And the thing is, my marketing on Facebook is what really made her feel very comfortable to talk with me. And that's what marketing does. And I didn't spend any money on my personal Facebook. But the relationship, the incredible relationship, the incredible knowledge of her knowing me was outstanding. I mean, like, wow, this person really knew me. But it was only through Facebook. She knew I was fishing. She knew I was gardening. She knew a lot about me if she's been following me. But that's the whole purpose. But I understand that my marketing is in my social media, and I don't have to spend money on it. I just have to enjoy it. Anyways, I hope that was helpful. I want you to go out there and dominate. Bring up your activity and make those calls, make those contacts. And if you want more information on some lead sources, let me know. But before we get to that, make sure you're working with EXP to make sure that you understand where their lead sources are, because they definitely have some great places for you to gain some business. Anyways, until next time, thank you.